From a dumpy little office in West Covina, California, it's The Foo Bar Show with Josie and The Foo.
All right.
Yes, son. What's up, everybody? It is Josie and The Foo.
This is The Foo.
And then we got David over here on the ones and twos. What's happening, everybody? What do we got on tap today? Let's see. We got some health and such. We got some science news. We got what else we got?
We got the weed blog coming up too.
The weed blog.
The weed blog.
Oh shit,
yeah.
son.
And then I thought we'd talk about a little bit of sports if you didn't mind.
I didn't.
Good. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Cool, man. Well, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Can I say something?
Sure.
All right, so...
Okay, you're done.
You know what? you know what really sucks is when you handle jalapeños and then you take off your contacts. That shit fucking sucks,
I'm
dude.
sure that relates to everyone that wears contacts and glasses, but I'll raise your story with the story.
Well, it just bugs me that it's not in the zeitgeist of things. Like, people just don't know to know that. It's not like, don't brush your teeth and drink orange juice. It's, people should just know
gross.
that. But yeah, but people know that. Like, it's
funny?
It's passed along. But no elder or mentor has ever told me, don't fucking take off your contacts after handling jalapenos.
You know what's hilarious about that toothpaste bit? I think I watched a video of some guy doing it, and I immediately wanted to go brush my teeth and drink some
gross,
fucking
dude.
orange juice. Like, I was like, I wanted to be part of that.
Yeah,
so
man.
let me share. Speaking of your little jalapeno story, so I went to go get some boba from Mr. T, which is in Walnut, Roland Heights area.
How appropriate for the Foo,
right, Mr. T. So
I pity them.
I went to Mr. T, and halfway going up, I realized that my dick was on fire.
Why was your dick on fire, man?
Like, it wasn't on fire. It just felt like...
Yeah, it was burning. It had a burning sensation.
I felt like I needed
You had a flare-up.
Yeah, I felt like I needed a fire... I felt like I needed one of those videos where you fire hydrant someone in the face, but to my groin.
Okay.
I was making some chili, and apparently I didn't wash my hands, and then I went to the bathroom before we left. And that is why... I know what you mean.
What kind of activities took place in this said bathroom?
In the bathroom? Just taking a piss, dude.
Right. Did you... So you took it?
No, I left it.
You left it there?
I left it in the bowl, but I used the restroom, and I didn't wash my hands after cooking, but I washed them after I went because I do that.
So if you were handling onions, would it have started crying or something?
My dick?
Yeah.
That's none of your concern, but I suppose so.
Cool. So let's see here. Let's check the tap again because I forgot what we had talked about. So there was going to be some sports, some science talk, some health and such. The weed corner. I don't even have an intro for
the weed blog.
The weed blog. Okay. Oh, is this your personal weed blog?
Yeah.
Foo?
Yeah.
All right. That's a pleasant surprise. I didn't think you were going to talk about that, but. Cool. Well, where do you want to start with, dude?
Let's get right into the science, dude.
Into the science. You're leaving it up to me.
And really, I think we're, I guess this is our first podcast.
Yeah.
So we really just want to talk about anything, just so everyone knows. And we're a big fan of having people on the show too. So
yeah, we'll have Steph on a little later to talk about health.
Who's Steph? Foo?
Steph is my beautiful bride who I've been with for many, many years, and she has a master's in public health education. So I figured, we don't actually have freaking Dr. Drew or whoever the hell does these things on a professional level. So she's the next best thing. We are on a budget.
Do you know? Do you know who Dr. Clapper is?
No, who's Dr. Clapper? This just sounds like a bad thing.
I mean, his name is funny. And he's Jewish, which makes it even more funny for some people, I guess.
All right.
But Eric Clapper, he's like I think he works at Cedar Sinai, but he's like a specialist in joint and like recovery, like muscle tissue. He's the surgeon. He's basically the go-to for the biggest athletes in the world.
Okay.
And what he does is he talks about he calls it Clapper vision. So he puts like a muscle tear, strain, break, whatever. He puts it into layman's terms, and he can, like, for example, like when he said a muscle separates, he's just like, imagine your muscle is an ice cream sandwich, and imagine taking off the top layer. And I'm just like, oh shit, I can really imagine the muscle like that. So he has a bunch of cool little anecdotes like that too.
All right.
So
all right.
Steph will be our Dr. Clapper, Dr. Drew, Dr. Steph.
Got it. All right, man. Well, let's talk about science, and we'll just play this. Cool. So that was my intro to the science. So my inspiration to start this one is back in, and I want to say maybe around 2013, one of my favorite science blog sites, IFLS, I fucking love science. They used to do this thing where it was the top 10 things this week in science or something like that. Of course, I'm not prepared today with the top 10 things, nor do I think we want to dedicate that much time to it.
I think IFLS, they don't do their updates anymore, do they?
They do, just not on like that kind of level.
Like I remember when I was in college, they were my go-to for like fucking around and like, you know, trying to keep engaged and not falling asleep at school.
Right.
So it's a pity they don't do that as much.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about, and I read it earlier in the week, is since I'm really into NASA and I like to talk about and read about that kind of stuff, with the current administration, Trump, he's trying to privatize the International Space Station by the year 2025, which means that there would be no more government funding going into it.
Have you heard the name of what he's calling it?
Well, in regards to like a missile defense system, it was supposed to be what is it? The space.
It was supposed to be like some type of space
force.
Space
force.
Yeah, he called it Space Force.
Yes.
Trump wanted to make a space force to compete with NASA.
I mean, can't the Air Force just take care of that?
No,
they're already like aero.
There is no air in space, dude. Am I wrong?
No, you're not. So, I would probably just pick the most interesting thing that I found in regards to science. So, per week, and if we can maybe shoehorn a couple more in, then so be it. But this one in particular is one that stood out because I'm really into like watching those videos that are posted from the little experiments that they run on there, how they take a piss, how they take a shit. You know, they have those up there, and
how to take a piss or take a shit?
Yeah, dude. They have those little videos.
You need a video to know that?
Yeah. You don't?
No.
Okay.
Anyways,
anywho,
rest in peace, Stephen Hawking. He passed away recently. Eh?
Dick, I'm not done telling my fucking thing. All right, so Trump administration's plan to hand over the International Space Station off to the private sector by 2025.
Space Force,
yes. Probably won't work, says a government auditor. It's unlikely that any commercial companies will be able to take on the enormous costs of operating the ISS within the next 6 years, which I think kind of makes sense. And Ted Cruz, who's the Republican from Texas, senator, and Senator Bill Nelson, Democrat from Florida, they both joined forces, like as if they were in Captain Planet
for Space Force.
And they said, no, we want to fucking keep that in-house, man. Like we want to be able to continue funding that. If you guys didn't know anything about Ted Cruz, he's like a big nerd, I guess. He's like really into like Star Wars and Star Trek and that kind of thing.
He's a fucking douche, but
aside from being a big giant douche, yes. So that might influence his decision to want to keep that alive.
If he's the giant douche, who's the turd sandwich? Rubio?
Yeah.
Marco Rubio?
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool that, you know, in a bipartisan effort to keep that that program alive, we'll hopefully it will keep it going unless somebody like SpaceX comes in or what's the Jeff Bezos, the CEO for Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
He's thinking about going into space or at least starting his privatized space.
Look at Elon Musk.
Program.
He's come such a long way in 20 years.
So, I mean, what are your thoughts on all that stuff?
I mean, it's cool, I guess. But it's not going through, is it? The Space Force?
I don't think so. I mean, it's got a not yet. At least it hasn't gone that far.
Honestly, I'm more interested to find out what the fuck's going down on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know Cinco de Mayo weekend, the morning of on Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah.
There was a rocket launch where I guess I'm not clear if it was either a test launch for Mars or if they actually started their first rockets sent to Mars.
Oh, good point. Yeah, no, I heard something like that. Do you know about anything like that?
No. Just kidding.
Caught
That's
him
not
off
David.
guard. Look at that. Didn't even have his mic handy.
No, actually, I
David, everybody.
Welcome.
a
the
few
Fubar
months
Show.
back, I was actually completely unaware of some of these rocket tests. But then I was heading home one day, and I looked up, and the sky was like probably around 9:00 at night, and it was pretty dark. There was a huge plume of like glowing white clouds hanging out. Into
how
fucking,
long? That was like
Is that the
5,
one that
6
happened like a few months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that everybody's freaking out.
Yeah,
the
that was
fucking
cool.
aliens.
So
are-
then I became aware that they were doing rocket testing, and then I was like, oh shit.
Dude,
and then I
so,
started kind of keeping up with that.
I don't know if you guys have Snapchat, and hopefully we create one of our own.
Yeah, well, we will.
No, I don't. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. All right. It's just all dick pics.
Right? Just a bunch of nudes selling videos.
Jesus.
Sorry. Anyways, I follow, thanks to my eager days as a young lad, I follow a lot of women on Snapchat, and I saw a couple women comment like, yo, this is some UFO shit. So I was super inclined to message him like, no, it's, NASA, JPL. I think the last one was JPL. Was it JPL or was it Elon's?
No, it's SpaceX.
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 So the SpaceX. So when that launched, I'm seeing all these, these pretty hot girls, but they were like, oh, it's UFOs, government conspiracy, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you can go to the SpaceX website and it like broadcast their launch. And they're straight up like, nah, son, shit's fake.
Dick.
And I'm just like, maybe you should look in the mirror. Burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that wasn't, it's not a rewarding to follow morons
Right.
like that.
And that was our science update, everybody.
Oh, I didn't get to talk about my thing.
Oh, okay. Well, go for it, man.
Wait, hold on. Before we end the segment here, Stephen Hawking passed away recently, and I had a burning question.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Like his
you
burning dick.
don't handle your dick after making chili. Anyways,
Stephen Hawking, everybody.
right? So David, let me ask you, Stephen Hawking, does he have the same electronic voice as a ghost?
Oh shit.
What?
Answer the question.
Yeah. Let's.
What do you
let's
think
get
his
your
ghost
feedback.
would sound like?
Yeah.
Would it sound like his?
Would it sound like the old Stephen
his
Hawking,
ghost?
or
his,
sound
like
like
young Stephen Hawking, or when he had the electronic one?
yeah? Which
I mean, I feel like his ghost doesn't have a voice. He comes through as white noise. If he's a ghost, he's white noise in a fucking TV. When that shit fucking turns off and you see that image coming through,
that's him.
that's Stephen Hawking's
Well-
crossing parallel dimensions. He's exploring that very realm that he.
What
has
was that
been-
fucking movie with the guy who does the Buick commercials?
No, was it Buick commercials, or are you thinking the Lincoln commercials?
The
McConaughey?
Lincoln. I'm sorry. Yeah, Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
That last movie he was in, that space movie.
Interstellar.
Yeah, Interstellar, where he was like in that room and it was the center of like it was the bending point of space and time, like that.
I
Like
didn't see that movie.
You didn't see that
Oh,
movie.
dude.
I love Christopher
Also-
Nolan
also-
movies.
also-
you know what? I have the movie.
Also,
I just
for anyone who
haven't
hasn't seen it,
Wow.
it's a really good movie. Dude, seriously, like, watch it. It's a really good movie. It has that chick from Jurassic Park, the redhead, on it. I'm not familiar.
Oh,
The most
Ron
recent
Howard.
one?
Ron Howard's daughter.
The most recent one?
Jurassic Park, yeah.
Jurassic
World.
World, sorry.
Right.
Yeah, the one with Chris Pratt.
Right.
So she's like the daughter in the movie too, and it takes interesting. If you haven't seen it, go fucking see it. Don't be like David, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And that concludes our science portion. Cool.
well, I forgot to mention something a little earlier.
Yeah, what's that,
We're
man?
gonna have a special segment near the end of the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, there
Yep.
we go.
Stay tuned.
And also understand that, Steph, when do you want to bring our guest in? Is she in the middle of surgery right now?
She's not in the middle of surgery. She is probably watching TV or catching up on some Marvel
Or
TV
petting
show
some
right now.
stupid dog or something?
Or petting the kitty. Anyway, let's jump into sports.
Petting the kitty.